at House of Fresh in Atlanta with Mr. Harie Robinson Jr.
Yes, yes.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm great. I'm alive.
You're alive. Hey,
I'll take it.
I'll take it too, y'all. It's crazy out there. It's crazy out there.
It is.
So this is the brand developer / manager for House of Fresh and a lot of other brands as well.
Correct.
So tell the audience a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, I've been in fashion and clothing brand development for really, on the retail side, 23 years, but brand development about 15 years. So I started with Macy's corporate back in '99.
Wow.
And was with them for 8 years. And then after seeing the back end of how they purchase wholesale and retail, I was looking at Versace shirts. And when I was at Dallas Galleria and Houston Galleria, Versace shirts retail for $400, but Macy's paying like 43 bucks, 65 bucks a shirt. I was like, you know what? I can definitely put some fly stuff together. You know, start my own brand. And I started with Junio Apparel back in 2004. So that's how I got started into it. And I've always been a fan of fashion, like since high school, middle school. You know.
Yeah,
Cross
Drumma Boy,
colors.
he's mentioned that you put together, you actually like design clothes.
Definitely.
Really?
I got a lot of inspiration from it's my brother from another mother. His name is Tony Dennis, the real stitch doctor. He's the founder for Tote Carry. They're based out of Los Angeles.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And me and him worked closely together. He had a cut and sew shop a little deeper in downtown called Stitches Design Studio. So he did my first tailored custom jacket, and from there we kind of just started doing a lot of projects and collaborations together. So a lot of my knowledge comes from the real stitch doctor.
Okay, well that's
AKA
awesome.
Tony Dennis, yeah.
Really? So did you go to like any type of fashion institute, or was it all just
No, I paid the price.
You
I paid the price, like going to college. My first denim production was done out of China, Guangdong, China. And of course, I had access to all of the denims that were coming out of China. At that time, hot denim was Sean John, Mark Echo.
oh my God, bringing me back to my
Rotten
like young days.
Nation
Yes.
and all of that stuff. So, you know, I actually sent them. I got samples from Macy's. Well, I bought them because I could get them at a discounted price. Bought them, sent them to China, sent them my mock-ups. But that was for them to get the cut and the sizing. Man, I spent $10,000 in Guangdong, China for my denim line, Junio denim. Man, they sent me back a box of rocks. None of it was to spec. It was not the right fabric, you know. So that's why I tell people, brand development and consultation is important because you don't have to make a $10,000 mistake because I've already got the sources in Pakistan and China and Japan and Istanbul, Turkey, where you can get your brand done. And now with the economy change, they're not trying to get you to do 10,000 units, one color, one size.
You're probably not going to sell all of that.
Exactly. So it's much more advantageous for up-and-coming designers to get their brand started with the right guidance,
Right.
the right business plan, you know, and actually handling all of your back-end business correctly. So
I like that. Okay, so what brands have you worked with?
I've worked currently, Drumma probably told you earlier, that was the first brand that I really got some traction with because we were doing not only printed merchandise and embroidery merchandise, we were doing custom pieces. So we would take a Dickies shirt and we recut it. So we wouldn't just leave it the boxy, oversized Dickie cuts, but some of our customers like it like that. But we we recut all of the.
I would like to see that now because I didn't even think about like actually tailoring a Dickie. You know, it's the classic Dickie suit. Okay.
Yeah, I've got a lot of old footage from that. But we recut some stuff. We would do cut to sew from scratch. And when I say cut to sew, Tony Dennis was doing most of the sewing. I would do most of the fabric selection and vinyl selection and actually come up with the designs.
Wow.
But yeah, he was hands-on with it. Full damn manufacturer, 2 hands. You know, we were doing 20, 50, 100 pieces.
Makes me look like my little sewing machine and things. It makes me feel very amateur.
No, not at
Very
all.
amateur.
You got to start from somewhere.
I used to do little stuff like that. You know, every woman or female does that.
Correct.
You know, start with it. But yeah, no, I haven't got to the level of BET Awards and things like that, having my stuff on celebrities and things like that. So
It's a process.
yeah. So what would you say to someone who's trying to go your route? Maybe they need a consultant for the fashion, or maybe they want to be like you. What would you say to them?
I would say it doesn't hurt. You don't really have to. I'm not going to tell kids not to go to fashion school like AIU or SCAD or Barter or some of these institutions out there that create and build great designers. If you don't have the money for that, I mean, it's so much stuff on the web now.
There really is.
I mean,
You
free
really
of
don't-
charge,
Yeah.
which I think school should be free anyway, but that's a whole nother conversation.
No, I
But,
feel you. My tuition says it should be free.
Exactly. But there are online courses out there. There's certifications you can get from some of these schools where you don't have to do a full, get your whole degree. You can get an associate or a certificate in design or tech packs or,
Yeah.
you could go that route. Or you could just hire me for brand development. It's all like it's a one-stop shop here as well.
Yeah.
And I can show you where the pitfalls are and what your profit margins are, because it's more than just being creative. You got to understand business.
Right. I was gonna ask that. So how, if you could at a percentage wise, how important would you say of just being a business owner in fashion is the business part of it? Like, is it larger or less than actual the creativity side?
It's larger because being a creative mind individual, your ideas are going to come to life. So your back end business has to be on point, and it doesn't have to be a big budget. It might be $500, it might be $1,000, but what you do with that $500 or $1,000 is very important.
Very true. Yeah.
So if you're doing 60, 70 t-shirts and you're putting 1,000 into it on the back end business, you need to have another $800 and $900 to $1,000 for marketing, because it's all good to do word of mouth and get your parents and your friends and everybody to buy from you, but when they're done buying,
who else is gonna buy? That's what I
Thank you.
tell people. You're like, when it comes to like entrepreneurs in anything,
Correct.
candle selling, like
Correct.
your market is not your friends. You
Yeah.
want to be out there to everybody, so you got to tailor to them.
Yep.
I feel that a lot.
Yeah, so definitely want to have the marketing dollars. No matter if it's $100, $200, you may not be, because when you look at business and product, if you're going to put $10,000 into a tracksuit line, you need to at least have 80 to 90% of that in marketing budget for it to take off online, to get your online sales and things of that nature. It's a lot of different things you can use out there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, that's all good and dandy, but you really got to dig deeper. Facebook ads can be expensive, but
They
I
can,
have
yeah.
one of my partners that started a hoodie line. He was putting like at least $5,000 a month into his marketing Facebook ads, and he ended up generating 25 to 30 grand a month
And
off of hoodie sales.
I believe that because I've done the same thing with different projects, and I put actual ads out, and it brought in an audience that wasn't my immediate, reach. And
Exactly.
so let's get into that.
All
So
right.
a lot of people think that, okay, social media, if I just keep posting, it's like a thing, a meme. Just keep posting, just keep posting, just keep posting. You will be recognized and you'll get successful out of that, even if you don't get likes.
Correct.
So do you think that still actual marketing and advertisement outpowers the posting and posting and posting?
Definitely, and I'm glad you brought that up, because when you look at the Instagram tool or even Twitter, I look at those as marketing tools. So your ratio of engagement to consumer is going to be between 0.5 to maybe 1.5%. They're going to look at it and keep moving
Scroll,
on.
yep.
But when you put the marketing dollars behind it, now it's going to be in their face a lot more. It's not like a post you did 2 days ago or an hour ago. You're doing that in conjunction with the marketing you got going on. Now people are like, well, damn, it's in my face
Yep.
constantly. If I'm on Twitter, Facebook, wherever, now you get more clicks. Now you get more engagement analytics from your website to see what you need to tweak.
Right.
They may not like the product you got up there. You may need to take that down and throw up 20 more new designs.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I learned from Gail Nutt. She was the DVP for minority relations at Macy's, and I took my denim line to her, and she was like, well, Harie, this is all quality, because it wasn't out of China. I got the second batch of denim done out of Vernon, California, just outside Los Angeles. And I took it to her, and she was like, well, this is all great, but you only got 6 women's styles and 2 men. She was like, you need 15 to 20 styles for any buyer that's with any major brand or retailer. They need to see more than just
Yeah.
a couple of pieces. Like you got to really present it to them because they're buying from Versace and Nike and Polo Ralph Lauren. And, these people have been in the game for 40, 50 years or more. So you at least got to try and do half of what they're doing. And everybody can't come out the gate like that, but you need to try and have more selection for the eye, for the consumer to actually want to purchase your product. So
I feel like also it shows that, I mean, you could have one great dress,
Yeah.
and yes, for a fact this is going to fit you, make you look good.
Correct.
But as a consumer, if you only have one thing on the rack, it kind of makes you as the designer, like maybe you can't afford a lot of stuff. Maybe you're just not really good at making other stuff.
Yeah.
So that's also that as well from the consumer standpoint.
Correct.
Okay. So what would you say? I mean, I feel like you've already accomplished a lot, but I ask this question to everybody I interview. What's your wish upon a star or like sky's the limit dream for what you're doing now? But I feel like you're already doing a lot.
You're right. But, if you balance your time management and priorities, you can do a lot. But for me, it would be to have young designers that want to learn, which I help a lot of young designers that walk in here and they just having a conversation and I'll drop some knowledge on them. But for me, it would be to have like 10 to 20 clients that have a budget that really want to see their projects take off. Like they're dropping 50 to 100 grand down, but they're knowing that this is going towards time, manufacturing, sampling, graphic designers that on retainer, tech pack designers that on retainer, so that I don't have to wait. A lot of stuff I can do myself, but with doing this with Drum and the clients I currently have, I have to have graphic designers on retainer so I can get it turned around very quickly because I don't like to
wait. And your consumers are waiting. It's kind of like instant gratification.
He don't know what he's doing. Why is it taking 2 weeks? Yeah, I'm gonna pass it over to my man Los and let him knock it out. I'll proof it, get it back to the consumer. So for me, it would be more brand development, creative direction, clientele. Because all of this can be done too. I mean, like the retail store, like business plans, that's something I can do in my sleep.
Yeah.
But for me, it would be new, fresh, young black women and men. And they don't have to be black. They can be Spanish. I don't care, to be honest with you. Long as I'm able to point people in the right direction and they can actually be successful and make money for their families.
I like that. You should make you probably already did this, but like make classes or something like that.
We've been talking about it. It's just getting the structure of how we want to do online classes with the video. Exactly, with the video. So if they can't be there for the class, they can tap in online and sign up for a subscription.
Oh, look out. He may have a workshop soon.
Exactly.
And you got a lot of resources and a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience. That is the most valuable part, is the experience.
Yeah, not to waste time and waste money.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to come by. It's hard to come by.
It is, especially when you're taking your time to save it up. So yeah, you need to put your dollars in the right hands.
Correct.
Put your money in the right hands. So what's a motto you live by?
Well, it's been a journey for me. Because I've done a lot. I used to general manage nightclubs for a minute. And that was a whole different, this is what lead me to my motto. But, in the nightlife, you're dealing with all walks of life.
A lot, yeah.
Good people that still trying to find their way, and figure it out. So for me, it's being more spiritual. Has nothing to do with religion, but my motto is always keep God first. If you're going to, anything you're doing, you want to do it the right way. And as long as you do it in the right order, God, your family, your kids, your significant other, your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, just try to do things the right way spiritually. Because when you do things the right way spiritually, you're not going to have to want for anything. You're not going to have to be calling your partner, your mama for money or anything. When you do stuff the right way, treat people right, it's just going to come to you.
I firmly believe that. It may not come to you immediately, but it will.
Every time.
Yeah, it'll work out.
Exactly. It might not be the monetary increment you need, but it might be the relationship you need to get to the money. Or it might be the relationship to meet people like you guys. And now more people can see what we're talking about, what we're doing.
Right.
So it's all about doing things the right way. Cutting the corner, man, you're never going to win.
You pay it and then you pay for that, and then I've learned that the hard way. I'm pretty sure we all have learned that the hard way. Cutting corners, you know, it shows in the end. And literally, from a person who stitches and cuts things, cutting corners does show.
Now that's a benefit at that point when you're cutting corners. But I'm talking about cutting corners in regards to how you deal with other people.
Gotcha.
And you know, doing things the right way and keeping God first. That's my motto, because everything else is going to fall into play.
Yeah, it will.
You know.
I agree with that.
There's other things that I could say, but starting with that, everything else just falls into play.
I agree. You got to start with a correct foundation. If you start crooked, everything's going to fall.
Correct.
I like that. Okay, so where can people reach you if they want to get consulting?
Let's see. You can go to houseoffresh.online/brand development, or hit the tab on houseoffresh.online. Or you can message me on Instagram at houseoffresh_Harie or House of Fresh ATL. Fill out your budget if you have one, or if you're just inquiring. Fill out the contact page.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes.
Yeah, and you know, we can take it from there.
Yeah, and so what would you say is something, because I feel like some people may be like, oh, he wants a high budget. So are you willing to work with anybody from the beginning, or?
Yeah, long as their vision is in play, and they're not bringing me, you know, something that they haven't put their own time and effort into. Like at least a lookbook or
something,
a sketchbook, or
show the effort.
You know,
yes.
You know, have something either on paper, handwritten, or in the form of PSD files or JPEGs, pictures, images, storybook. I can work with that, but coming unprepared and think I can just create something out of nothing, which I can, it's not my brand. It's their brand.
Agreed.
So put the work in.
Show him your work, y'all. I like that, because, I mean, I've been in that situation where someone says, I have a dream. I want this to happen. I'm like, well, you know, I could help you with it. So what have you done so far?
Exactly.
I've done nothing, but I want you to help me because I've seen what you've done.
Well, you got to go work first, and then I can help you after the fact.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So do you want to leave the audience with some positive parting words before we close out?
I would say never give up on your dreams, but if you are thinking about giving up, it's because you're not working hard enough. So work hard, you know, keep God in front of you, keep your spirit right, because we're working from the inside out. If your spirit is not right internally, it's going to be hard for you to get the results out here when you spread and
negativity,
negativity, what you got going on.
And that karma's going to come back in the worst time. I promise you, it'll come back in the worst time when you think you got it all together.
Yep. Make sure you do a self-check on yourself every day to make sure you head in the right direction. Because, you know, a lot of people complain about, well, this person's not right or this person's not right. Did you do a self-check on yourself to make sure you on point, that your soul is right, that you have the right energy? If you can do that every day and just make progressions, positive steps every day, you'll be fine.
That's so weird you say that. I was just talking to my husband about accountability. People around you may not be doing great, but you also have to look at yourself like, what did I do?
Accountability.
You know, to probably instigate this, you know, things like that. That's a whole nother conversation, y'all.
Yep. And principles. You said accountability, but principles. Now, a lot of people are not working off a principle. You know, they're just doing it the way that they see it. And some of these young kids, it's not their fault.
Well, yeah,
it's just what they see, video, visuals, you know. So I'm going to try it this way because he already made it. He got a Bentley over here. You know, he got this over here, but
they don't know the behind the scenes and what it takes to, like, Yeah,
because, I mean, Drum has been doing this, man, since 17, 18 years old, man.
Yes.
You know?
He literally cultivated his art and his talent before he even went to it. It's not like something that was overnight. Yep. It was not overnight whatsoever.
No.
People will just see the reward. They want to get it. That's a whole nother thing we get into.
I know. I had to get off my chest.
I understand. Trust me. I feel you on that.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for having me interview you. I just want you guys to see how important it is to have somebody in the industry to consult with brands, and you're trying to and also I feel like, sidebar, not just like clothing, but also if you're in the industry, you as a brand, you as yourself, how you carry yourself, how you handle yourself on social media, not getting in fights on social media, how you handle your business relationships is very important. Very important.
Definitely correct.
But yeah, no, thank you so much. It's very
Thank you.
refreshing to talk to somebody with
I'm
a lot
telling
of
you.
experience.
You gotta share it.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, you guys, again, that you tuned in to In the Mix with Mel on Hip Hop Network. Woo woo. But again, peace out.